Welcome to class number 4 of the Chiller course for beginners. In this class, we're going to analyze a basic diagram of a chilled water plant in which a water-cooled chiller is used to generate air conditioning, whose main objective is air cooling. If we observe the diagram from left to right, we can clearly identify three circuits. The circuit on the left, which corresponds to the chilled water distribution, external to the chiller. The central circuit, which is the refrigeration circuit, located inside the chiller. The circuit on the right, which is also external to the chiller, corresponding to the condenser water circuit. To understand how this system works, we will start by explaining the left side circuit, since it is essential to understand the overall operation of a basic chilled water plant. Chilled water distribution circuit, left side. On the far left of the diagram, we can see a heat exchanger. This heat exchanger receives chilled water coming from the chiller with a flow whose typical temperature is approximately 7 degrees Celsius or 44.6 degrees Fahrenheit when the application is air conditioning, which is the objective of this basic plant. As explained in the first classes, the delta T, or temperature differential, is a very important parameter in chilled water plants. For air conditioning systems, this differential is normally 5 degrees Celsius, which is equivalent to a 9 degrees Fahrenheit temperature differential, not 41 degrees Fahrenheit, because this is a delta T, not an absolute temperature. Therefore, if the water enters the heat exchanger at 7 degrees Celsius or 44.6 degrees Fahrenheit, and we add a temperature differential of 5 degrees Celsius or 9 degrees Fahrenheit, we obtain a return water temperature of 12 degrees Celsius or 53.6 degrees Fahrenheit. This means the water goes from 7 degrees Celsius to 12 degrees Celsius, maintaining a delta T of 5 degrees Celsius, or 9 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a fundamental value in this type of installation. Air cooling in the heat exchanger. Now, why do we need chilled water? The reason is that this heat exchanger is responsible for circulating chilled water through a coil, while at the same time an internal fan drives an airflow through that coil. This equipment can be a fan coil, an air handling unit, or AHU, or an air treatment unit, or ATU. The air passing through the heat exchanger generally comes from the room environment. For example, at a typical comfort temperature of around 24 degrees Celsius or 75 degrees Fahrenheit. This air may pass through air filters beforehand, and even air mixing can be performed, topics that will be covered in later classes of this chiller course for beginners. Since the coil contains chilled water at approximately 7 degrees Celsius or 44.6 degrees Fahrenheit, its temperature is close to that of the water. When the warmer room air passes through the cold coil, a heat transfer occurs. The air gives up its heat to the chilled water. The air, having lost heat, leaves the unit cold, typically at a temperature close to 13 to 15 degrees Celsius, or 55 to 59 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on the system design. This cold air can be supplied directly to the room or distributed through a duct system to condition different spaces within the building. Water return and primary circuit. After absorbing heat from the air, the chilled water returns through the return piping to the chiller at 12 degrees Celsius or 53.6 degrees Fahrenheit. This water flow reaches a pump, which we have already named in previous classes as the primary pump. The primary pump is responsible for feeding the evaporator or cooler of the chiller. At this point, the chilled water enters another heat exchanger where another heat transfer takes place. The chilled water transfers its heat to the refrigerant in the evaporator. Up to this point, two heat transfers have occurred, from the air to the chilled water, from the chilled water to the refrigerant in the evaporator. Refrigeration and condensation circuit, right side. The heat absorbed by the refrigerant in the evaporator now moves to the compressor. The compressor sucks in the refrigerant, generating a low pressure, which produces a low temperature, responsible for creating the cooling effect. This low temperature can be well below 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on the refrigerant and operating conditions. The refrigerant, after being compressed, is sent to the condenser. In the condenser, the refrigerant must return to its original state, since it previously changed from liquid to vapor in the evaporator. In this chilled water plant, the condenser is water-cooled, as explained in class number 2. Condensation water circuit and cooling tower. To accomplish this, the condenser requires an additional circuit called the ambient temperature water circuit, which has no connection at all with the chilled water circuit. These are completely independent circuits. This circuit typically operates with water temperatures close to 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit at the condenser inlet, 35 degrees Celsius or 95 degrees Fahrenheit at the condenser outlet, which represents a typical delta T of 5 degrees Celsius or 9 degrees Fahrenheit in this circuit as well. This circuit includes a pump which circulates the water through the condenser and a cooling tower where the water releases the absorbed heat to the environment. Here, a third heat transfer occurs. Heat moves from the refrigerant to the condenser water, then the heat is dissipated to the atmosphere in the cooling tower. This is an open circuit since part of the water evaporates in the cooling tower, a topic that will be studied in future classes of this chiller course for beginners. Fundamental value you must memorize. Returning to the left side circuit, there is a key value that you must memorize if you are following the sequence of this course. For every refrigeration ton, a chilled water plant for air conditioning requires 2.4 gallons per minute of chilled water if and only if the delta T is 5 degrees Celsius or 9 degrees Fahrenheit. This means that if a heat exchanger is handling 10 refrigeration tons, the pump must supply 24 gallons per minute because 10 times 2.4 equals 24 GPM. This value is fundamental and is frequently used for system design, field diagnostics, and evaluation of proper system operation. Attention! This rule does not depend on the type of condenser, air-cooled or water-cooled, nor on the type of compressor. It applies to any air conditioning system operating with a 5 degrees Celsius or 9 degrees Fahrenheit delta T. System bypass. In the diagram, we can also see a bypass line, which is used when air conditioning is not required in one or more heat exchangers. In that case, a solenoid valve can close and the water is diverted through the bypass. This topic will be covered in more detail later in this beginner-level course. Class conclusion. In summary, always remember this basic rule for chilled water plants. 1 refrigeration ton equals 2.4 gallons per minute of chilled water with a delta T of 5 degrees Celsius or 9 degrees Fahrenheit. This knowledge will be essential in more advanced courses, especially for field diagnostics. With this, we conclude class number 4 of the chiller course for beginners. You are invited to subscribe to the channel, follow the full sequence of classes, and of course, we look forward to seeing you in class number 5.